What's up, everybody? You're watching the From WordPress to Statamic YouTube channel. My name is Michael. Following up on our last video talking about focal points and background images, today I want to look at using focal points with the image tag. So as you can see on the screen here, I've got my person entry showing myself, and I have this gallery of images at the bottom. So I have this glide tag here to fetch the images, and I can actually use the focal point to adjust what I'm seeing here, just like I did with the background images. But this time I'm using the image tag instead of doing a background style. So right now I'm not using any focal points on here, but let's dive in and take a look at what that might look like. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim these images to make it a different shape, so you can see how it would look without focal points to start with. And one of the properties that I can use with Glide here is to just call it a square. I could do width 200 and height 200, or I could just use this square property and set the size that I want. Let's call it 300 and give it a refresh there. Okay, so now I have some square images. And you know, for these two images here, maybe this is where I'd want to use that focal point adjustment so that I can center what I want to have in the image. The one on the right looks pretty good. It's already kind of centered in a way that makes sense. But let's go ahead and adjust these ones. So let's start with the boat here. Maybe I want to focus on, you know, the people in the boat on the right side. So if I go to my assets and I select that one, and let's go and edit that. Okay, so over here, this is the focal point. The label goes away. There we go. Yeah, so just resize that a little bit. It starts off at 50-50, but I want to move it. I want to move it over here so that this thing is centered, and you can see in the background here everything adjusts as I make my selection here. So I'm gonna choose that maybe a little further down, something like that. Sure, let's finish, and I'll save that. And we've already done this one in our previous video, but I'm gonna do it again just to make sure that we have what we want. So yeah, I've already got this area selected as my focal point with the cyclists on the seawall there. Okay, so now I'll go back here and give this a refresh. And what I can do is I can add another property, and I'll call it fit. And I will say crop focal. And now it's going to regenerate those images for me. And now you can see the cyclists are cropped to the middle, and the boat there is the way that I want. Maybe I want this to be a bit of a bigger image, and I'll get a little bit better resolution that way, maybe even bigger still. That looks pretty good. Now, because this is over on the right side, I think, it's cropping a little bit. There's this little artifact on the right, so if I wanted to adjust that even more, I would just, let's edit that again. Maybe the focal point isn't going to be exactly there. Maybe it's going to be there. Something like that. And then maybe it'll be centered the way that I want. Give that a refresh. And it's more or less the same. What if I wanted a different aspect ratio? Maybe this is where I would specify the width to be, 400 and the height to be 200. There we go. Now in this case, the crop doesn't really make as much sense because of the aspect ratio, but what if we did the reverse? Okay, so in this case, yeah, we get what we want. It's a strange aspect ratio for this use case, but you get the idea. We're cropping in on the focal point, so I have to remove that altogether. And give it a refresh. Yeah, so now it looks weird. So this is a really great use case. Maybe I have like a team photo and I want to zoom in on the faces when I'm cropping in a certain way. I don't have to resize my assets. I don't have to go to Photoshop. I don't have to get a designer in here to say, hey, can you rejig this for me and re-upload the photo? I have all the power that I want right here to set my focal point and adjust the size, width, and height as I want. And I can combine it with my presets like we did in a previous video, just to get it dialed in just the way that I want. And then I don't have to mess around with generating image sizes when I upload or any of that stuff. So I hope you can see this is a super powerful tool that goes above and beyond even what we looked at before. and combining with even more parameters that we still haven't tapped into, there's still a lot more that we can uncover with Glide in Statamic. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you haven't yet, please see the link in the description to sign up for my newsletter so you can get reminded whenever I publish content here on YouTube or on my website about Statamic. Catch you next time.